Lights.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. Monday. All right. So today we've got some stuff we're going to do, and we have a lot of work to do in a short amount of time. So first, let's talk a little bit about sketches. So this week we're going to try to do a 12-page comic, or at least start a 12-page comic in the Bellatrix Rising universe. So this is the first episode of, oh my God, we're going to scramble and probably cry a lot. So it's important you be prepared for that. So here is the problem that we've got going on. We are behind on a number of 3D assets that we will need for this particular thing. So we're going to be building some 3D assets today in hopes that we can get them done fast. We can hope. So George is here to help us, right, George? Nope, you're going away. George is going away. Let's look at the first step. The first step of any comic is a rough sketch. So we've got a rough sketch already started over here. No, over here. We already have a rough sketch going over here. And you can see that here's what we've got going for us at this point. Now, this comic is going to be ultimately 12 pages long. So these are only the first 8. Hang on. So the first 8 pages here, I just put it on scrap paper. I very rarely worry too terrible much about. There are wonderful sketch things that help you get into the sketches of your pages, but really the first stage is breaking the script, and we break the script down, and when we do, we look at like how the placement of all the bubbles are and whether we're moving too fast or too slow. And that's what happened here. I have a 3-page in Word script that turns out to be about 1 page for every 4 pages of comic. So you can kind of, and that's just a rough thing, and it doesn't necessarily always roll out that way. And the only way you'll ever be able to tell is to break the script, which is what we've got going on here. So what I've done is I just use my normal everyday. I absolutely love them. My 4-color pens. I live on my 4-color pens, but this allows me to do different colors and allows me to do different things depending on what I'm after. So I just did it in purple because purple's cool, right? And that broke the script. So we now have our 4 pages for this week, which probably are actually legitimately going to be into next week, but we're going to shoot for these 4 pages being done this week. We just may not make it. Now, here's our problem. The problem we've run into is that we are missing the first set. The set, some of you guys who've been following me for a long time know I just lost a viewer. I'm getting boring, I guess. I've got somebody on Twitch at least. So as you know, I use 3D models for my comics. And I use the 3D models in the background specifically. So what we've got now is this set that I'm working on. And over the weekend, during my D&D game, I built these crash couches. The crash couches I like a whole lot, but I don't have the rest of this rig here, the outside shell of my ship. So we've got to do that today. We've got 4 crash couches, no control consoles, nothing around the outside of the ship. So that's today's job. We're going into 3D and we're going to build the MPV. So it's just an MPV. It's the same shuttle we will be using for the rest of the comic. So there's no wasted time for this. Nothing's wasted on this. It's not like we're doing a one-off for this comic. It's just an MPV. So here we are in Blender. And the thing is, the MPV in here is in multiple little pieces. This is the way my MPVs work. And we really just need this piece, and this piece to make this MPV work. Okay? So we're going to go to the top view, work. We're going to take you and set you here, and you, and we're going to set you here. And these 3 pieces are all we need. Okay, because that's the MPV's body. We don't need the under chassis. We don't need the specialized MPVs, right? We're just going to make sure that they're lined up correctly. Okay. Because this is the shuttle hull, so to speak. And what we'll know is this is the body of the shuttle, and here's the cockpit of the shuttle. This allows us to build a structure around this. So this is today's job. Today's job is to build the hull of the MPV. We're going to build it in different pieces so that we can use those pieces for other things. For example, if we build this hull up and over as a wall unit with nothing else in it, we can use that wall unit later when we put together hallways of the Kittywake, because it'll still be shaped funny. It'll be shaped interesting, yada, yada, yada. The cockpit probably won't be able to reuse, but that's okay. So here's what we need. We need these 3 pieces. The rest of this we'll put together later. We actually need the MPV for 2 scenes where it actually shows the outside of the shuttle as well. So we're going to need to finish this model up. However, for right now, this is what we're doing. We're going to group these objects or join them so that they're one object. And then I'm going to export just this piece, right? And we're going to export it, and we're going to export selection only, right? Because that's what we want. And we're going to say MPV type 5 MPV hull only for interior build. It's important we do this because later I'm going to need to do other things in here and need to know what the hell I was up to. Okay, so we're going to do a new general. We're not going to save this, right? And then we're going to import what we just made. Okay, so here, and we're on vehicles, vehicle blender files, type 4 MPV hull only interior build, and there we have what we've just built. Our grid on this is these are 1 meter by 1 meter boxes, so I think that are, well, let's see if I offset this guy. No, if I offset this guy by 1 meter, where does he go? Right. Okay, so each box square on here is 1 meter. So we're going to return that to 0. So these are 1 meter squares. What is the average length of a car? Average 5.2 to 5.7 meters in length. So let's go on ahead and take you, go to the top view because it's a truck. I mean, really, that's what it is. It's just a truck. We're going to take you, we're going to move you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.7 meters. So clearly, I already made that Google search because it says the average truck is about 5.7 meters long, and this guy's about 5.7 meters long, which means I already made the Google search. So here we go. We're going to take this guy, we're going to put him here like so. We're going to do this. We're going to go forward, and we're going to apparently do the wrong thing. We're going to take this. We're just going to look like this. Okay, we're going to take this guy, this here guy. We're going to go into naked mode, and we're going to edit, and we're going to take the vertice, which is this guy here, and we're going to select just that wall right there. I'm going to bring it in. This is about the thickness of the hull wall of what we want on the ship. So we're going to bring this down like so. I'm going to bring it out. I'm going to move it like this. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do that. Right? We're going to bring it right in here. Bring it. Right? We're going to double check to make sure that we're actually on this piece of the hull, which we need to be, because there is actually a bump there between those two hull pieces, because I'm an idiot of some sort. Okay. So we just want to check that to make sure. Okay, we're going to go here. We're going to bring this hull out to there. And then we're going to give room on the bottom for the floor. Right? So there we go. We'll extrude. Bring that up to here. And bring it over. Like so. We'll bring it down. Again, we'll give some room for the ceiling. And now we have effectively a wall unit. The wall unit's thicker here than it is up there. So I want to kind of adjust it a little. So we've got that. Okay. So here's our wall unit. So we're going along, kind of tooting, tootly, 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 making our wall unit. There we go. So we'll take this guy now, and we'll go to the top view, and we'll move to here. And we'll lock him into this front piece right there. And we'll take this piece and move it into right there. I won't need to make any differences between these because there won't need to be any differences. But here's what we're going to also do. We're going to take and put a joining unit in between these two. And the reason for that is because we want to use these as walls later on for starships. So I'm going to bring it in like so. I'm going to extrude, which will go to here. And this is a little hinky because it's not going to work like we want it to right off the bat. We're going to have to work on this. That's okay though. And then we'll extrude and put that there. And this is going to be difficult because we'll have to fix this a little because they're not, I can already see these guys are not in the right spot, right? Because they need to be like here. And what this really means is that they're moved in like this, which we knew. We knew that was going to happen. So we're just going to move these back till they're here, like so. We're going to turn this sideways. And the thing I'm noticing here is that my interior did not do what it was supposed to do. That, right? Instead, we just ended up with it going the wrong direction. So we'll bring it up to the ceiling so that there's no holes in my spaceship. This, for instance, the ship has a complete hole in its hull. It will explode and die. Hang on. Excuse me. I'm allergic to mornings. I'm allergic to Mondays. Tell me you're not. Right? Okay. We'll bring this guy up to there. And we'll bring him over to there. And then we will do this. Bring it back. Okay. So we're now looking at, all we're really trying to do here is just get this to be an indent. So we're going to bring this in like so, and then indents to the wall. An old Star Trek trick. Go figure, I've got old Star Trek tricks up my sleeve, huh? Take these two right here, and we'll push them in. Same thing, indent. We're going to look, we got to be careful about the way we do this, right? Because we don't want to ruin the contour of the wall. So we're going to indent like so. And I don't really care about you, so you can go back out to the outer wall, because it's only the inner wall we have a problem with. And now I think we've messed up the indent. Yeah, we did. We lined up the wrong one. There we go. There we go. So we're doing that. And that lined up that side to that side. We'll go down to the bottom here. We got the same thing kind of going on here. We got to figure out what we're going to do about these guys. These guys went the wrong direction. They needed to go this way, and instead they went the other direction. So we'll go here, and we'll make sure that these guys line up properly, but they're also on the floor. So like so. Why are these looking weird? Uh-oh, something seized up. We got something seized up. I don't know what just locked up, but something locked up. I don't think I have Creative Cloud running. Okay, we're waiting for Blender to come back from torpor. But it just got mad about something. There we go. It's back. And it screwed something up. Okay. There we go. So we'll grab these two. We'll go here. I don't even know what that was all about, why it was seized up like that. That was just very strange. A very strange thing for it to do. This guy needs to be fixed too. So we're going to have to come back up here to the top. Did you pick the wrong? You did. Okay, well, that's weird. You back. Even stranger. Okay. That was really strange. Like, I don't know where that guy is or who that guy is, and we're going to have to come get him and bring him back to the real world. And I think it's this back one way back there. One of the problems with working in 3D, of course, is that you are perpetually dealing with weirdness like that. Okay, bring this into here just to lock it in place. And we'll go up to the top. That one looks good. The one that's really having a problem is down here. He needs to be moved over to here to lock him in place. And now what we have is we have a wall with a joining unit, which joins like so, but clearly doesn't do it straight. But that's the reason why we put the other model in. All right. So looking at the hull of the ship, we seem to be doing okay. So here is what we've got going so far. Interior wall. I'm not going to bother putting a door in or anything like that because we don't need it until later. We will need it. There's going to have to be an exit hatch or something. And what we will do is we will make a specialized wall. But since I don't need that now, I don't need that right this second, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to look at this and say, what else do I need in a wall unit, right? And I don't think, I mean, we can put greebles and things like that, but really, honestly, we put those greebles in over here on this guy. That way I can swap the greebles out as we see fit. So I'm not going to mess with that right now. We don't need to worry about it. The next question is this after section right here. I've put in kind of this thing going along. The only thing is that in the consoles, I have this, for lack of a better word, wainscoting, right? So I'm actually kind of wondering, gosh, guys, sorry, hang on. Okay, I'm allergic to Monday mornings. I actually think what's happening is we've got a storm rolling in today, and I think that I am not responding very well to the storm rolling in, is what I think is happening. So, okay, moving to where are you? There we are. We have a wainscoting that kind of goes along the bottom here. And I'm kind of thinking of putting that wainscoting in here, but really, honestly, legitimately, I don't think I need to. The only thing I can think of is there might need to be a raised piece up at the top. And I kind of feel like I want a raised piece at the top. So we're going to bring this guy down like so, and then extend up, and then extend up one more time. And that'll give us just a little bit of an effect going along this top here. So make sure, again, we go back out to the contours of the ship. And then we're going to bring back out to the contours of the ship as well. And it'll bring you into the contours of the ship. And then we don't feel like I'm annoyed that this isn't lined up with this. It's not. And it's not supposed to be, because I did that just now, right? I just did that. Literally just built that. There we go. And this will give us just a little bit of a something going along the top of the vessel, so that you have just a smidge of something happening up here. So that when you look at this wall, it has some interest to it. Otherwise, it just kind of exists. It's little world, and you don't really want it to exist in its little world. So that's a lighting unit, or an air conditioning duct, or maybe both. Whatever it is, it does its job, and it does the thing, whatever that thing is. So I'm going to move this back to here and move this guy back to here, because they're actually on this line. There we go. Okay. We'll do the same thing over here. Bring him to whatever line he's on. Doesn't really matter what. Okay. We got that kind of going for him right there. Because we got to catch this guy. All right. So we're going to go in on this. I don't even know where I am here. If you guys are getting seasick, I apologize. Just making sure that this is at a nice angle so that the indent fits nicely the whole way. You want this to be a nice indented line. I'm noticing it's departing though. That makes me mad. Means somebody's confused down here. That's what I thought. We've got a flipped line of some sort here. This is where it's good to just bring in the actual, bring it into actually a real effect so we could see it, because this wall now lives sort of in its object mode. It is not always user friendly. Now let's take a look at this wall, because we've probably got something going wonky with this line. You wouldn't notice, would you? Well, the hull looks fine as far as I can see. I can't see anything wrong with this, even though when I look at it here, I can see that there's a line crisscrossed this line. I can't figure out which line is crisscrossed. You see it, guys? I see a line right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into edit mode. I'm going to grab the line. I'm going to select that line. I'm going to take a look at it. That's why. Because it's not these lines at all. It's this line back here. Okay. So we'll take just that point, and it needs to move forward or this won't match. So they won't match together as a whole piece if I don't fix that piece. And that's why we've got to do it. Okay. So done. And that's fixed. So now looking at it this way, the hull looks fine. It looks like an outside wall. This is a very dramatic wall. So I'm kind of actually thinking of taking this flat piece here and extruding it like so, and then going onto this side here and bringing it down so that nobody actually like smacks their head on this, and using this as storage down here, this bottom piece. Right, so you can stick stuff in here, and this becomes just a storage unit, and you can't actually place anything against this wall. It makes some sense to some degree. So here is what the wall unit would look like as it stands. So we're just going to leave it like this. This looks good enough. We'll be able to do stuff with this. And actually, it's not space AG if it's like that. So let's bring it in, because space AG is always at weird angles. So we'll bring it into like here. That's enough that you won't trip on it or fall on it. But it also looks nice in space AG. So that's what we're going to do. That makes things a little bit easier. Not so hard. Okay. Now that we've done that, it's 9:30. This piece goes to UV mapping. So we're going to bring it over and we're going to click on the UV map setup. Oh, here it is, UV editing. I don't know what my problem was on that. Okay. So we're just going to take cube here, go to object mode, and then go to edit mode and select all, right? And we need to be in naked, select all, otherwise we don't get all of it. And here's the thing about UV mapping, you can already see that we've got sort of this guy going like so. That's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is this. We're going to go back into non-naked mode. I'm going to go straight to this side just like this. I'm going to select only the outside edges, which is what this is here. So we're only selecting the outside, right? That's that right there. We're not selecting any of the inside at all. We're just selecting the outside. Okay, we're going to go through real quick and just make sure we don't have anything like that selected. I'm going to take that guy out like so. Make sure that nothing on this side is selected either. Okay, good. I'm going to go to here and I'm going to say UV unwrap faces, and I'm going to say project from view. And that's going to project from literally this view. So this is the outside over here. So I'm going to take this guy and I'm just going to move him out of the way, right? We don't need to worry about him. All right, we're going to go here, do the same thing. I'm going to take just this guy here, and this is just this left side. I'm going to make sure I'm not selecting anything else, like any kind of other parts of this. This is just that. And then I'm going to take and I'm going to undo that and undo that. So all I'm getting is this outer edge right here, okay? So that's what we're after. It's just this outer edge. The inner ring right here, and this outer edge right there. The inner ring, probably not even. I'm not even going to do the inner ring. I'm going to take that out too. Okay. So I just want this outer edge. And the reason I only want the outer edge is it's a piece that we're probably not going to see ever. So we're doing all the pieces we're not seeing first, right? So we say that, and then we say, same thing, project from view. I take this whole guy right here and just move him out to the side. And click the other side, do the same thing, right? Undo that. This side looks like it selected the inside walls too while I was at it. Let's take that out. This side doesn't have any special stuff going on for it, so we're just going to do that. Project from view. Work. Like that. Move him out too. I don't care where it goes, just as long as it's not there. Good morning, Brent. Right, so same thing we need is the top and the bottom. Just the top. Right, we don't need to select you. We do need you. Just the top. We're missing pieces of set, if you're wondering what's going on here. No, we've got to get this thing going, so we're doing set pieces today so that we can get to the comic. You and you is pretty much all we need. All right, so I'll hit from the bottom. And wrap faces. Project from view. Right. In fact, when I'm under like this particular kind of deadline, I want to go on ahead and just pretty much skip all of those for a while anyway. But there is still Geek Tank, yes. So bottom, top, and these are the outside edges. So we're just going to put these together and do this and this. And what we've done here is this is all of the, we don't usually map this side. Still Geek Tank, still everything else is normal. it's just, and I'll take a break here in a second and show you what we're doing today, or show you what has been done. So let's go ahead and, because I guess you just got here. So over here, we've got the breakdowns. So here's 1, 2, 3, and 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is page 5, 6, 7, and 8. I haven't gotten there yet. So the first 4 pages have been broken down, and now I know what the calls are. So we're calling for a shuttle interior. You're new for the show today. Calling for the shuttle interior, and I can see already, just looking at where we are here, I'm going to need one of my MPV shuttles. I'm just going to draw the Polaris at this point in time, because there's only one call for the Polaris, and that's this shot right here. So we'll just hand draw the Polaris. It'll take less time than to build the Polaris at this moment. And especially since we don't need the Polaris again until literally like issue 6 or 7. We really don't need the Polaris for a long time. So it's only one call for the Polaris, and that's right there. And then the rest of this is an interior inside the shuttlecraft. So what we've got so far over here is I built over the weekend, I built crash couches, like real crash couches, not the seats that we've been using before, but real crash couches. But then realized I'm missing a bunch of hull. So I've got no hull for the ship. So we've got to put in hull, which is what we are doing over here now. We just need walls. We need the front cockpit pieces, and that's going to be specialized. The front cockpit pieces are specialized, and then we'll put those in, and then we should be okay. But we've got to do all the pieces that go with this. So that's probably what today's show is going to be. And I'm going to continue with that throughout the day. It's just going to, a snowstorm is rolling in, so I've got nothing better to do. So what we've got so far is we brought up a model of the MPV's outside hull, and that's here. So this is the MPV on its outside hull. So we're just mimicking its walls real quick, building an interior set that would match the MPV. And that's just so that we can, that way that it looks exactly the same inside as it does outside. And there's, nothing where you're like, oh, it just looks different, So we're going to let the MPV do its thing. And that'll be cool. So that's what we're doing. So this guy needs now his interiors. So we're just going to, I could do this the same way we just did it, but we're not going to. We're going to go like this. I'm going to select that wall piece right there. And you can see where it came up with over here. And we're going to shift and select this wall piece, which is facing, right? But it's not. So we need that one and we need this one. I'm just going to make sure we've got all the facing pieces. So here we are with the facing pieces. We're going to take this guy here. It's also a facing piece, right? And we're just going to make sure we've got everything over here. Let's snag this facing, no, this facing piece, this facing piece, and that facing piece. And that puts us with just, damn it. Wow, we're just going to grab everything here. Why don't we grab everything? A bunch of little small pieces down here. That's why I try not to make my 3D models too complicated, because this takes forever if you do. Mapping is just a big flaming pain in the butt. So, all right, we'll go this way, and we'll go here, and all we did was the facing pieces at this point. So we'll say unwrap and project from view, and that gives us just the faces going this way. So we're going to break this down. Okay, so here we go. Then we're going to take this guy, right? We're going to go from the top, And I'm going to say project from view, right? And this guy, then we're going to rotate 90 degrees. I'm going to take him and move him over to the side for right now. Okay. We got one more piece, and that's this under piece right here. Nope, that's not it. That's it. Right? So I'm going to go on ahead and line up as much as I can in a direct shot of it, like so, and then say project from view. Okay. And this will allow us to do something interesting. Watch this. Watch this. Good morning, Donald. And yes, you should learn Blender. Okay, we've got some square that's not represented somewhere. This is a piece up here that's some reason not actually doing its job, and I'm not sure where it came from or what it is. So we'll have to go find it in a minute, and that's going to irritate me. But for the here and now, here's what we've got. We've got these guys, right? We're going to move them. Nope. Well, yes, we need to do that anyway because it's just slightly taller than it is when you're seeing it. Okay. We can take this piece and we'll move it up, and then allows us to move this piece. That's part of what we didn't do right. I know what we didn't do. This piece goes in here. So we'll put this guy right here and extend him out to here. And since I brought up that side, we're going to have to bring down that side a little bit, like so. And I'm just going to bring this up and match it right in there. And that's one of the squares, the missing squares that we were just saying. Where is that from? What's going on? Who are you people? And then over here, we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to match up these squares so that they line up together like so. This is the underside of this. This is that. So that's this. So let's go on ahead and do a couple of other things. For one, I want to see if I can separate these two pieces here, which I don't think I can. I think it just decided that they were matched. So I'm not ecstatic about that. So I'm going to actually redo this. And I'm going to go on ahead and just line it up and then say unwrap, project from view. And that'll give me a new version of this, which I can select and move out of the way temporarily. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom piece here. Nope, not that one, that one. And I grab him from here, make him square as possible because he's at that weird angle. I'm going to say project from view, get some square like so. Okay. Now when I select all of these guys like so, we're going to have this piece, which is the big wall, and he's going to go right here. I'm just going to bring that wall out to so, and since I brought that out, I'm going to bring it, bring it down to there. And then this is the top of the bench, if we want to call it a bench. So we're going to move that over here. And we'll just resize it until it fits. It's important to be close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, take you, and this is the inside of the bench, and move you over. And now what we have is this bench sort of unwrapped and flattened. Yeah, I agree. Once you get the Blender thing down, you could build your own train cars. It'd be awesome. Awesome. Okay. What I want to do is check that. Okay. Check that. Okay. What we don't have is you guys under here. Check you. See. I think that building your own model train sets, model train unwrap faces, project from view. Okay, so this is this piece. We're going to move him over here. And we need this piece too. Right, so we'll unwrap project from view, right? And we'll move him over here too. So now we've got that. So I'm just double checking where everything is. This guy needs to go here, and this guy needs to go here, and we'll just match them up. Okay. The other thing we're missing is this piece right here, which this piece doesn't match this piece. So we do need that one, right? And that one's just straight. So he comes in here and just say project from view, right? And we just get that. And we'll put him down here temporarily, and then we'll flip to the other side and grab this guy. Okay. Now when we grab everything, we've got these triangles which live to the sides right here. So we'll just scale them up unilaterally until they we'll scale them up unilaterally until they match. Right, so this matches right to there, to there, to there, and that shows you that that's at that side. And we'll do the same thing over here. It's going to be in the center, so we'll do this, and we'll do that, and then we'll move it over. Oh, I hate you. There we go. Now zoom in. And we'll move it out just a hair. And then we'll do these guys. And these two now need to live here. And he needs to be up here to match that, because that's what happens over here. We'll move up. I'll grab. So when they cross over like this, it gets really hard. So what I just do is just that, right? Because that just grabs just one dude. Bork just grabs the face. So this just tells you either the vertice or the line or the face. Okay, so we're going to do that. The thing is that now that we've brought these things bigger, we need to grab, oh man, we need to grab you and you, and then switch to vertices, because we really just need you, you, and you, right? We'll go like so to make that just a little larger. And this is that middle section over there, right? And this is that piece. So we'll go like so, and then you go here and bump you over so you're straight. And then we'll bump you guys down so that you're aligned to that spot. We'll align that spot there. And then we go here. And we go up to here. And you see how these overlap? We want to make sure that they don't. We want them to line up, but we don't need them to overlap. There we go. Then we'll take you. This is pretty easy. We just bring this guy down and just snap him into place right here. And there. It takes about an hour to build one of these set prop pieces each. But again, like I said, this will be a wall later too. So I'm not that worried about it per se. The only other thing we need now is the outer piece of this guy, right? And you can see him right here, this piece right there. Right? That little piece right there. That's all that's left. So we're going to take you and say project from view, right? And that just gives us this like weird shape thing. I don't even know, right? Select all of it so that I know that I'm selecting the right weird shaped thing, right? Goes about here-ish. It's weirdly shaped, and so I'm going to tilt it so that it fits better. However, this does tell me something very important, which is there's about a 10 centimeter overhang that I'm going to have to worry about every time with characters bonking their heads. Bonk. So we just put him here. And that's right through this line right here. I don't think I'll ever really need to worry about that, but just in case. The only thing that's going on here is this. With this ear out here, it makes it easy to understand exactly where this piece goes. However, and here is the problem. And here's all of our internal guts. We don't need to worry about those guys right now. The problem is that makes it so I can't inflate that to one side. So I'm going to take this ear, and even though it's useful to have it there, I'm going to screw up the entire thing. What do you think? Think that's a good idea, guys? What do you think? Thank goodness for Control Z, guys. Thank goodness for Control Z. I'm going to put him over here. It's a little rough, kind of annoying, but what that allows me to do is move this entire guy over to like so, and we can increase his size until he fits into the entire space. Right? And actually, I think all three of these guys are going to end up underneath because that's probably a better place for them because I've got some room there. Really? That's what we're going to do? That's how we're going to do it? Right? Because I can do this and then go like so. Because the idea here is to use up as much of this grid as we can. You want to use as much of this grid. Unfortunately, thinking about it, my dear friend, what I'm doing right now wouldn't help you with trains because you don't really UV map when you're dealing with trains and stuff. So we're going to do this. I'm just going to put them straight underneath right here. Now we've placed that there. And this is all the interior stuff that maybe we care about, maybe we don't, probably don't. It's the outside of a set. I think when I do this comic, I very much do these things as if these are a movie set. So, right? Or no flux capacitors if they don't have a bunk on the head. Okay. We got to get going here in just a few seconds. First things first, we're going to save this as we're going to go into here and we're going to go up out of vehicles into interiors, into Blender files, into Blender files. Okay, there we go. Whoa, having issues. And we call this wall unit 01 because there will be other wall units, but this is the one we like the best. Oh, hey, Kato Southwest Limited. I love Kato. I've got a Kato in scale Yamanote line. Right? And then we go over here to this guy. And before we lose this, we have to zoom in because I've saved this many times as an image file and it never works. And I don't know why. I'm going to open. And in here, I have what we call a master texture for this. And all it does is just give me a blank spot that's the size of these texture squares and that we want it to be. And I'll take this and then I'll hit my famous Windows Shift S that I got from Kundi. And I will select just this guy right here. Right. And then I'll go into here, paste, and we'll rescale. I don't know why in Blender the default mode of this is not, in fact, to do the Blender file isn't by default set up in a way that makes logical sense, and I'm not sure why, but it isn't. When you export as an image, it exports black lines and a black background. You can change the lines to white lines and a white background, but you can't change it to white lines and a black background or black lines and a white background. And I don't know why it does that. That's a very strange thing. So, okay, for those of you who are watching me all on wherever you're watching me on, which looks like GS Davis Art 2, and then one on GS Davis Art in my Twitch. I appreciate you guys watching me. I'll be back tomorrow to continue this saga of potential tears, because there will be tears. I'm pretty sure there will be tears. So keep an eye. It's only a matter of time. Keep an eye on this, and we'll be back. And I'm glad to have you both, Donald and Brent. If you want to switch over to Geek Tank starts in 4 minutes over on Rocky Mountain Geek Tank. And hopefully by tomorrow, Brent, I will have all of the rest of the interior set of see, I've got to say goodnight. So, okay, guys, I'll see you over on Rocky Mountain Geek Tank. And until then, for those of you who are not joining me on my Geek Tank podcast, have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. And if you're here in Colorado, please enjoy the snow. Anyway, and remember, everybody, to keep your eyes on the stars. Bye-bye. Computer, good night.